Beep, beep, beep. The steady sound of a heart monitor dragged Daniel out of darkness. His eyelids felt like iron gates as he struggled to open them. The sharp smell of disinfectant stung his nose, and a dull ache ran through his entire body. He shifted slightly, then froze. His stomach. It was heavy, swollen. Panic flooded his chest. He remembered the accident. The screech of tires. Maria's scream. The blinding crash. And then, nothing. His breath quickened as the door creaked open. A doctor walked in, calm but serious, his white coat swaying with every step. He checked Daniel's vitals, then hesitated. His face was unreadable. Daniel croaked, his throat dry. What's wrong with me? Why does my stomach feel like this? The doctor placed a chart down, pulled a chair, and sat beside him. For a long moment, silence filled the room, thick as fog. Finally, the doctor spoke. Daniel, you're 3 months pregnant. The world stopped. Daniel laughed, a shaky, broken laugh that cracked into silence. That's impossible. I'm a man. I can't. This is insane. The doctor didn't smile. Instead, he slid an ultrasound print across the table. Daniel's trembling hands picked it up. His heart dropped. There it was, clear as day. A small shadow curled inside him. A heartbeat, pulsing with life. No, Daniel whispered, shaking his head violently. No, this isn't real. This is a nightmare. But it wasn't. It was real. Daniel shut his eyes, memories slamming into him like waves. His sister, Claire, was sick and needed urgent surgery. Bills were piling up, collectors knocking at the door. He felt hopeless, drowning, with nowhere to turn. Then came the offer. Quiet, confidential, almost unbelievable. A medical program that promised more money than he had ever seen. It was experimental, risky, strange. Desperation left him no choice. He signed the papers. Through those long weeks of procedures and endless tests, his girlfriend, Maria, never left his side. She held his hand when the doctors injected him with hormones. She comforted him when the treatments made him weak. She whispered, "We'll get through this." For Claire, the doctors explained it was only a fertility experiment, artificial womb implantation, hormonal changes, and careful monitoring. But they reassured him over and over. This will never lead to a real pregnancy. It's temporary. Once the trial ends, your body will return to normal. Daniel believed them. He told himself it was just science, just a way to survive. But then came the accident, the crash, the trauma, and somehow, against all odds, the impossible had happened. The pregnancy hadn't vanished. It had taken hold. It had grown. The doctor's voice pulled him back, calm but heavy. Daniel, there's something else you need to know. DNA testing confirms the baby belongs to Maria. Daniel's heart stopped. Maria, his girlfriend, his soulmate. She had been in the car the night of the accident. She didn't survive. Tears blurred his vision, his chest aching like it was being torn open. She was gone. But inside him, a piece of her still lived. But how? The thought clawed at his mind. Then it hit him. He remembered the procedure. The doctors had said they needed an egg to complete the experiment. Back then, he hadn't questioned it. He was too desperate, too distracted by Claire's illness and the promise of money. But now, the puzzle pieces slid together. Maria, she must have volunteered. She must have given her egg, silently, secretly, just to help him, just to save him, just to make sure he could get the money. Daniel's lips trembled, his tears spilling freely. Maria had carried him through the trial, comforted him, stood by him, and without him even knowing, she had given the ultimate gift. Now, even in death, her sacrifice lived on. Their child. The doctor gave him 2 options, terminate or carry the child. For nights, Daniel lay in the hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, his hands over his swollen stomach. Logic screamed, "End it. You can't do this. You'll be ruined." But his heart whispered louder, "This is Maria's last gift. Her life ended, but her child still lives. Our child." Every kick, every flutter in his belly became a reminder. Maria was still with him. Weeks later, Daniel finally went home, hiding under oversized sweaters. But Claire noticed his silence, the way his hand lingered on his stomach. One night, she cornered him. "Daniel, what's going on? What are you hiding?" He broke. His voice cracked as he handed her the ultrasound. "I'm pregnant, Claire." She stared, frozen. What kind of cruel joke is this? But then she saw the tears in his eyes, the way his hand trembled protectively. And she knew it wasn't a joke. "It's Maria's," he whispered, his voice breaking. I can't let her die again. Claire's eyes filled with tears. She hugged him tightly. Then we'll do this together. The months crawled by. Daniel's body betrayed him daily, morning sickness, cravings, aching bones. He remembered teasing Maria when she had complained during her cousin's pregnancy. Now he understood. At night, he sat by the window, whispering to his belly, I don't know if I can do this, but I promise I'll try. For her. For you. Sometimes, he swore he heard Maria's voice in the wind, soft, reassuring. Don't give up, Daniel. Our child needs you. But the whispers of doubt were louder. What if he wasn't strong enough? What if something went wrong? Then came the first kick. A strong, undeniable push from within. Daniel gasped, tears streaming down his face. He pressed his hand to his stomach and whispered, Maria, it's real. She's really here. In his 7th month, Daniel nearly gave up. The pain was unbearable. The stares from strangers grew sharper. His mind spiraled into fear. One night, he collapsed to his knees, clutching his belly. I can't do this anymore, Maria. I'm not enough. And then, another kick. Stronger this time. Almost defiant. Daniel sobbed, whispering, okay, I hear you. I'll fight. After 9 months of pregnancy, Daniel lay in a sterile operating room, his body trembling with fear. Doctors moved quickly, prepping him for surgery. Daniel, we have to do a C-section, the surgeon explained firmly. It's the safest way. His heart raced as bright lights shone down on him. He gripped Claire's hand, tears streaming down his face. I'm scared, so scared. You can do this, Claire whispered, squeezing back. The anesthetic numbed his lower body, but he could feel every tug, every pull, his heart pounding in his ears. He prayed silently. Maria, stay with me. Please stay with me. Then it happened. A sharp, piercing cry filled the room. The nurse held up a tiny, wriggling baby girl. Daniel's vision blurred as she was placed in his arms. She was perfect. Small. Fragile. Beautiful. She had Maria's eyes. Daniel sobbed, clutching her close. Maria, she's here. She's really here. Claire entered, tears streaming as she saw her brother cradling the baby. She whispered, she's beautiful. Daniel kissed his daughter's forehead. This is proof Maria's love never died. She lives on in her. The doctor, usually stoic, allowed himself a smile. She is a miracle. And so are you. Daniel nodded, holding his daughter close. His fear, shame, and doubts melted away. All that remained was love. Life doesn't always follow rules. Sometimes, the impossible happens, not as a curse, but as a gift. True love doesn't end with death. It lives on, in ways we can't explain, in miracles we can't deny. If you woke up in the hospital and were told you were 3 months pregnant, what would you do? Don't forget to subscribe to Impossible Pregnancy for more shocking, emotional stories.